Okay, this is Monday, June 28th, 2021, meeting of the Berlin Board of Assessors. As a preliminary matter, please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you. Take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. This is Kevin Pond, Chair of the Board of Assessors. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me prior to me calling the meeting to order. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Bev Wheeler.
Here.
Roger Bradley.
Hold on, he just got here.
Okay, we'll call him back in. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Molly Reed, Assessing Director.
Here.
Okay. Anticipated speakers on the agenda. Do we have any?
No, we don't.
Okay.
He's on, Kev. You can say his name.
Okay. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Roger Bradley.
Here.
Okay. Anticipated speakers on the agenda. We have any?
No, none.
Okay, with a quorum of the board present, I call this meeting to order at 6:01 p.m. on Monday, June 28th, 2021. Okay.
Right.
So I had sent out the minutes for June 14th, and I'll read them because sometimes you don't get to see them. I mean, you don't get to. So we got a bunch of stuff from DLS on COVID-19 and how the funding is going to go, and it's changing daily because now I have a bunch more today. Let's see, the annual certificate of assessors qualifications, which is a gateway thing that I've taken care of. We got some IGRs on owners unknown, demo charges and liens. The Board of Selectmen sent out their code of conduct and final, so it's their final code of conduct process, I think is what to call it. The town administrator told us that the Technical Assistance Bureau is going to conduct the finance department review. And community outreach and a butters list for 10 Bigelow Street, Hudson. Part of that property's in Berlin, so we had to also supply a butters list, and I guess they didn't know that they had to contact the assessing department, so Margaret had sent out a thing. So the educational offerings were the summer conference on Zoom, and it was excellent. It was such a good thing, educational classes. And I told you that I had been recertified for my MAA. The Berlin General Stores is going to have a new manager, operator, owner. I'm not sure. I know they don't own the property, but I think they're taking over the business. I let you know that we canceled the meeting for May 24th. I also let you know that we have a new DOR rep, Gerald Crean.
Have we met him yet?
Well, I know him.
Okay.
But it's only temporary till because Jack, who we had last year, retired. So I'm sure that it's going to change around again, but that's who it is for this year, I guess.
Okay.
And I let you know that Vadar took the file, and that's going to be ongoing till I guess we get training from Vadar on how to do what we're supposed to do. I had you sign accounts payable, And the old business was the classification and compensation report, small commercial exemptions for FY '21, sales, and near map demo, and you adjourned at 6:29.
Okay. All those in favor? We have it says agenda at the top.
Oh, does it? Oh,
It
maybe
could.
the one I sent you, but I changed it. The one you're signing says minutes.
Okay. And
So
what
can I
was
make
the,
a motion to approve the minutes?
I just have what was the Bigelow Street in Hudson about? I forget what that was
They're
about.
doing cannabis. I believe they're trying to put in a grow center.
Did we ask where Bigelow Street was
It's
again?
off, yep, it's off of,
River
it's
Road West.
Kane. It's Kane Industries. So it's off of River Road East.
Down by Turtle Transit?
I don't know Turtle Transit. It's like sort of behind the condos.
Behind Entwistle.
Oh, that's right too.
Okay, that's right now.
Behind Entwistle. Okay. I'm good with that. Okay. All right. Bev made a motion to accept the minutes as read. All those in favor?
I'll
Bev,
second it.
Aye.
Roger,
Aye.
and Kevin, aye. We're good.
All right, we got a notice that the Earthworks Board is having a meeting on July 12th for the homes at Highland Ridge, which are the 55 and older up there on what used to be Ken Chris property. Chris Ken,
Which one are we on here? On correspondence?
yes.
Okay. All right.
So that's July 12th, if you care to zoom in. The,
Why are they having that now when I think all
already
these,
moving earth?
they've been moving earth for, I think, for over a year now, haven't they?
I don't know, but they're having
must
a
be-
hearing now.
They must be importing earth.
Okay. July 12th, where? At the Zoom meeting? And does it have a time?
8:15,
PM or AM?
public hearing at July 12th at 8:15 PM. And there is a Zoom link, so it's on the town website.
Okay. Okay,
All right, so the state of emergency was terminated effective June 15th. And the legislature on June 16th let's see, how do I say that? An act extending certain COVID-19 measures. So they extended till April of 2022, the process of having meetings. You can still have meetings via Zoom. It doesn't have to be in person. And that's about all I was able to read. So
For almost another year.
if you want, well, you can meet, let's see. It says it allows all members to participate meetings remotely. Requirement of a quorum of the body and the chair be physically present at the meeting location remains suspended. I will send you this.
so it looks like our choice, whether we Zoom or meet, moving forward from when? June 15th, did you say?
June 16th. So
Right.
I'm sure that I found this on the Attorney General's site. I was hoping that they would have something more, a better explanation of just like regurgitating the law. So I'm gonna have to read it and interpret it, and it's like 6 pages long. So,
Does the town overrule the state in this case?
no,
Okay,
you can do either or, but there's not really, it's gonna be a balancing act on, you still have to keep distance measurements and all that stuff. So if we, I mean, usually we don't have people at our meetings, so we can probably have our meetings here, but the rest of the 2 rooms are gonna be booked solid for like zoning and I think the selectman's office is big enough to, well, it all depends on how many people show up on where the meeting can be held for distance measurements.
so have you made a decision how we're gonna continue to meet?
Well, most, our meetings are posted via Zoom, I believe. I guess I have to check that. No, I was gonna discuss it with you guys and see what you wanted to do. I would suggest that you, at least for the summer where everybody might be in different locations, to keep up Zoom meetings till the end of the summer and think about it after that.
I think that's a good idea, or we'll go month to month. If we need to do something some month in person, then we should do that. But
Okay,
I don't, that's my opinion. Somebody else want to say something on it, or?
so our meetings for July would be the 12th and the 26th.
Sounds good to me. For zooming,
Okay,
All right,
Yeah.
so
Raj?
Yeah, I'm fine, whatever the majority wants to do.
Okay, we'll try it another month for Zoom. Yep. Okay,
but on the 12th, Molly, if there's anything that needs to be signed, I won't be around to sign it.
okay. As long as 2 of you are around, it's,
Right.
I'll
Should be.
sign it for you, don't worry.
Oh, just scribble.
All right,
all right, so they, in the process of getting ready to do payroll this week, we had to create a FY22 payroll sheet for 2 days.
all
So,
right. Huh?
Margaret had sent out the FY22 classification grid sheet. So, because I had to change all the price per hours for everybody. So you'll see that you'll see it, Kevin, because you'll come in and sign the payroll for the month.
I'll be looking for that change, so.
Okay. And
Not kidding.
and once again, there's, I'm glad this isn't part of my job, but to the American Rescue Plan, how that's going to be funded and divvied up, and also on how to recoup the money that was spent because of COVID. There's like a different IGR that comes out daily. That
How is that gonna affect us, Molly?
we already put, when we had payroll billing that was COVID, we had a separate billing summary and we wrote COVID funds, and that's all we had to do on the department level. Now on the
Okay.
accountant level and on the town administrator level, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah. Well, we'll let them deal with it if it's their business. Yeah. I see it.
I was so excited about that. So we got our certified values for telephone values for FY22 from the Department of Revenue. One of the last I think it was one of the last things that Joanne Graziano did before she retired.
When you say phone quote valuation,
Well,
What-
it's centrally certified by the state. So CenturyLink Communications, MCI Metro, at TC Systems, and Verizon New England are all valued by the state. And their value for FY '22 is it's 2 million and some change for all four of those.
in the town of Berlin?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
And the new growth for them is we only get new growth from TC Systems and Verizon, and it's only like 27,000.
It's okay. Okay,
So that just goes on my little thing. We got the list for the small commercial exemptions for FY '22. And again, it may only be used by the assessors for the purpose of determining eligibility for the small commercial exemption. And it's only issued once annually, and they've been issuing it via email. So that's like, we actually get it on time. Instead of, I don't know why it took so long for them to do it via mail, but
so the small commercial exemptions are for all the businesses in Berlin
well,
that qualify for that?
that's the people who are mixed use properties that have small businesses.
Yeah,
If they're on the list, then they get the small business exemption.
right, okay. That's what that list is, yeah, okay.
Yes. We're, Joanne and I are doing the vision workshop, free workshop tomorrow, and it's it looks like it's going to be very good. They're going to show us how to do more tricks and tips on how to bring everything into Excel to do some better reports. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
And
We've
what-
just a
what-
reminder, Kevin, you need to sign the code of ethics sheet and give it back to me, and then you can take it on your merry way.
Okay,
We're still working towards FY '22. Mike has taken an initial look at the sales, and 101s are coming in at 93%, and we usually try and bring them in between 97 and 95 and 97 range. So they'll be going up like 4%. Commercial is pretty low, so commercial is going to be stable because we did a very good job of being conservative last year.
Nice.
And it might be dropping. Hopefully it's staying level, but it might be dropping a little, like 1%. But I think we're going to try and keep it stable. So I just wanted to, do you still want to bring it in between 95 and 97% like we have been for the interim years?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so the housing will go up. But my vision is that commercial is worth a little more because everybody's back open again. So am I misleading myself with that?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
That was a good question, Kevin, because they will be reopening.
Right, so why are they
Yeah, but
gonna go down?
They weren't reopened on January 1st. That's your assessment date.
Crap. Whatever,
Next year.
yeah,
Yeah, story of our lives. So residential can go down this year?
No, residential is gonna go up.
I
That was a
tried.
good question, Bev. Yeah.
Mm.
I knew the answer to that one.
Well, I thought it would fly right over.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
the other categories look pretty good. I'm working on the year-end paperwork. I think I got everything you guys need to sign, but I seem to have a black hole in here. And I should have never tried to straighten up. I've lost a bunch of paperwork.
Okay.
So we already discussed future meetings. Usually after the election, I forgot to ask you this back in May. Do you want to reorganize the board? Do we want to keep it the same way?
Keep KP in charge. He does a good job. Unless
So-
Rod wants to.
No.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, we'll keep Kevin as chair. You do a wonderful job.
Thank you. I'm not sure I do, but
You do.
thank you. Okay,
I let him know everything he needs to know to go to the dump.
that's right. That is a true statement.
What
That's-
time to
that-
go,
that's-
who to hide.
I'm adding that to my job description.
Yes.
So on a yearly basis, we usually do a vote to have the chair be able to sign accounts payable and payroll in case it falls with a based on a single signature for payroll and accounts payable. So I'll write that up, and I'll make it so it's a proper statement and put it in the minutes. We just have a roll call vote that you all agree that Kevin can sign payroll and accounts payable if there's something that needs to be signed. And then he comes and tells the board about it at the next meeting, or we put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
If Kevin's willing to do that, yes.
I don't have an issue with it, but you can bring it up. I don't see that there's an issue with it.
No, we just have to do the vote every year.
I can't vote, can I?
No, well, you're all in, let's just say you're all in agreement
Yeah.
Yes,
that Kevin can sign.
So we're gonna call, Bev, you in agreement with me signing for the
I am.
board?
I am in agreement, yes.
Okay, Roger, you in agreement for me signing for the board?
Yes, I'm in agreement.
Okay. So I guess that would be our vote,
Yes.
so to speak, or agreement.
And I'm spending more and more time doing the Vadar conversion for billing and our things, but I will let you know when it's all over. I'm sure it's, once all the questions go back and forth, it will not on a daily basis take up as much time. It will be a little bit smoother flowing.
So why is this happening?
Because the treasurer is changing his billing package from Point to Vadar.
So we're required to switch to Vadar?
We're required to now give Vadar our billing files.
All right, so how's that transition going, so to speak?
Well, last week it was a little hairy, and I today did not look at any emails from them because I was busy getting ready for your meeting and doing year-end stuff. So I can let you know tomorrow.
All right, that's fine.
How I've been keeping track of it, so you'll know. I think that the more we know about it, the more stuff is going to come into our office, which is I'd rather have control over what we're supposed to be doing than have collectors I have to see how it flows out. I'm not exactly sure yet. Nobody can give me any like manuals or knowledge, or I've used it in the past, so it does. Right now, what happens is that Rose used to put it on a disc and carry it over to the collector's office. That's how old and antiquated it was. So now it's going to be more of a less, we'll be able to be right in the system and post into the system. So it might be it might be added steps in our office, but it's going to go a lot cleaner and smoother because we'll be able to run reports and stuff. And I've used it before, and the report running and all that stuff does make it easier. And we'll just have to see how it goes here. I don't know what, I'm waiting to see what has actually been purchased to make sure that we get to do the stuff we're supposed to do. See, that's what happens when it's another department's software, but your department has to deal with it. We didn't have much say on we don't have much say on what other departments get. We just have to work with them. And sometimes it's more burdensome than others. So right now it's burdensome because we're doing the first conversion, which you always find issues and problems and stuff like that. So
we just started with that. We just started with this Vadar company, right?
yep, for FY 21. 22, sorry. I'm in
Yeah.
between fiscal years.
Yeah.
So FY,
with that being said, what are they doing? What billing are they doing for us?
they'll be doing excise billing and real estate billing.
Okay. And who's going to send out the tax bill?
The collector.
The collector. So the tax bill that goes out has nothing to do with them.
Them
So
who?
Vadar.
Yes, Vadar will take our assessments and owners and put them into their system. The tax rate will come from the recap sheet. They'll put the tax rate in, and their system does the tax math.
Good. So that maybe that'll be easier in the end, maybe not.
Yeah, no, they still have to match me or us because
Right,
it's our file.
right. Okay. Do we have a
And-
contact person?
Yes, we do. I've been in constant contact with them.
Oh, well, there's a plus.
Yep.
Good. They answer the
Yeah,
phone when you call?
Well, we've been doing email and reports back and forth. So, I mean,
Okay.
yes, I have spoken to him when I don't understand what he's writing. So yes, it's been a very, there is someone to call. They've done this many times. It's just a matter of getting our vision to go across to Vadar smoothly. And once it's done, it should not have issues. It's just getting to the point of done that's having issues.
Okay. Yeah.
And just one more thing, that near map that I told you about a long time ago, I sort of have a tentative date to do it for July 26th. So maybe, what time is it now? So it's 6:30. Maybe I'll tell her would be a good time, and I'll see if any other departments like zoning and planning and fire, building can send a board member to look it over, because it's pretty interesting.
Okay.
Is that something we have to attend, Molly?
Well, yeah,
Yeah, okay. And that was when?
July 6th, 26th, sorry.
Okay,
So
great.
it would be after our meeting if it lines up
Oh, right.
correctly.
Right,
Yeah, well, we'd be at the end of our meeting.
Right.
okay.
And approximately how long would that take?
She can do it 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yep.
Or we
Where are
could, I
they- where-
could, I
where
could
are
tell
they
her,
out
si-
of?
I could tell her 6:15, and if we don't get all of our business done, we can just table it till after the demo so that you're not here longer than need be, but I don't expect to have that much to be done on the 26th. So it's probably just signing off paperwork and updating you on correspondence. So do you want to do it at 6:15, 6:20?
Doesn't matter to me. Bev, what do you want to do?
What, I'm easy.
I'm fine.
Yeah, why don't I just tell her 6:15 and then the meeting won't have to go past 6:30 opposed to starting at 6:30 and going to 6:45.
Okay.
Okay,
All right?
we'll try that.
Okay. All right, then. I don't seem to have anything else.
Okay,
We met, oh, yes, accounts payable, we matched for May totals.
wow.
And we still have after I put in the stuff that you're gonna sign for accounts payable this month, it looks like we still have remaining budget at 7,000 plus or minus.
For when? When does that end?
June 30th.
Wednesday.
So we haven't used up to $7,000 of our money.
Correct, which most of it is for cyclical because we stopped it. So I'm going to roll over the interim value money that's still there in our second account. But basically, we have only spent like $1,000 out of the cyclical thing, which was 6,000. And for consulting, we still have $1,000 left there. So that's about, the rest is dribs and drabs.
So technically, this department loses the $7,000, so to speak.
No, technically the town recoups for free cash $7,000. Goes back into the general fund.
Right, okay.
But we still have those items in our upcoming budget.
Right, okay. Yep, so do we need to increase that for next year, and then what we don't use, we'll give it back? Seeing how, is Jack gonna be doing some more cyclical stuff for us?
Yes, it's already been budgeted.
Okay,
Our FY22 budget passed in May, so we'll have to rethink about it for FY23 if you want to look at it then.
well, I'm just making sure that we don't, quote, lose out. You know, if we don't use it, I'd have no problem giving it back, but
Right.
going forward, if Jack's gonna try and make up the
Well, we
sections he missed,
can't, I don't think we can carry over that money because he would have to do the work physically in FY21. So,
right,
can't.
I understand that, but what I'm talking about, where we didn't do it last year, are we going to try and do more this year to try and catch up, or is he just gonna do his regular routine?
I will have to, probably his regular routine. I will have to relook at the budget, but I think that I might have added a little, but we'll
Okay,
have to play it by ear.
all right,
We don't want to lose that money, correct? In the future, if we need it?
Well,
we
it's in the same amount of money's in the budget for next year,
Okay,
but we're still gonna have to make up the $5,000 that is going to go back into the general fund at some point in the next, till our next reval, which is 2020 something, 5 years from
Tomorrow.
2026.
Okay,
No,
But-
I just thought if you put money in and you don't use it a couple times, that then next time you go to put it in for it, they're gonna say, hey, we gave it to you 3 times, you didn't use it. You
Right.
don't,
yeah,
you might not need it. That's what my thought is. If you don't use it, do you lose it?
Right, no, but when we did our, no, we won't.
You can just blame
Might
it on.
try and
COVID.
take it, but I'll fight for it.
what, Raj?
Just blame it on COVID.
Yeah,
Well,
well, it
technically,
is COVID's
is.
fault.
Please.
Right.
It is
Yeah.
COVID.
So that's what I was getting at. If we're gonna be doing more and Jack runs out of money, you would just turn around and say, well, look, we gave you $7,000 back. So don't get mad at us. We're just trying to catch up and fix what COVID didn't allow us to do.
Right.
And I'm more in favor of catching up if Jack can, if it works out that way. You know, I'm not fond of somebody putting addition on their house and Jack not picking it up for 6 years, so to speak.
No, right,
But I know that would never happen, but anyway.
yes, everyone files permits for anything they do.
Right.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yes,
When somebody files to do like an addition or a new garage and they say, or their seller over and they say, it's not unfinished, so we don't tax them the full rate. Do we ever go back to
yes,
double
we go back every year.
every single year? Okay, I didn't know that. I was thinking.
Well, either we call, it depends on how big the original project was.
Okay,
If it's a basement or a finished attic, we request an interior inspection every year.
okay,
And at
Right.
some point, we would just make it 100%. And because at some point, they're never gonna finish it. So,
well, that's my main point is what I was getting at, thinking.
well, we
thinking how
put it
many-
at 100% complete, and if they want to complain about it, they can file an abatement application. But if it's genuinely not, like they ran out of, most people don't finish something because they ran out of money.
Right,
But they end up finishing it eventually. But yes,
because wood's doubled, the price of wood and all that, so that affects it too.
yeah. So
Okay.
yes, we do check it every
get it.
year. Just to let them know we're aware of it, and
Okay,
Okay,
and then if they don't let us in, we have to use our highest and best estimate based on the other houses that we've been in of what they did inside.
okay,
So we do keep an eye on all those things.
very good.
It's only fair and equitable.
that's right.
I was gonna say you and Kevin are on the same page.
All right. Is that it?
Yep,
Okay.
motion to adjourn.
All right,
Bev,
I motion.
Raj,
I'll second.
So
okay.
6:39.